Will Anderson, the Texans' third overall pick. His nickname is the Terminator. I don't know if he gave himself that nickname. I don't know if it was given to him somewhere along the way in high school or in college, but he has clearly embraced it because at the NFL draft, he was wearing a bejeweled necklace that carried the Terminator skull. I got to say, Terminator's a great nickname. Now, is it earned at the NFL level? I don't know, but Terminator was a great movie franchise. Terminator 2 is my favorite sequel probably ever. And there's a lot of good sequels out there. Empire Strikes Back, Godfather Part 2, Paddington 2, the usual suspects. But I am really still bummed out by how wrong the Terminator franchise has been done over the last, 20 years or so. They had Terminator 3 with like Claire Danes and this just whiny bitch version of John Connor. There was the Christian Bale one, which had a lot of potential. The trailer got me so hyped. I think Sam Worthington was in that one as well. That one was a bit underwhelming. Then they tried to bring it back with Daenerys Targaryen, actress playing young Sarah Connor. They brought Arnold back into that one. I don't know about that one. It's been, and then there was another one where they basically spoiled the major twist in the middle of the trailer. It's been done wrong, and it's a shame because I love the Terminator franchise with a passion. But anyway, back to Anderson. That's a good nickname, and it has me thinking, who's got the best nickname in Houston sports? We can talk both current and past. Obviously, you have Hakeem Olajuwon, the Dream. That's great. Simple. It just rhymes. Unless he had some sort of dream where he was like, I must go play basketball for the beloved University of Houston Cougars and then play for the Houston Rockets.
That might have happened.
That's true.
God spoke to him in a dream.
God spoke to him that the Rockets had the draft rigged for them so that they could get the University of Houston Cougars star.
Stop playing soccer. Move to the low post.
You're really tall. What are you doing? Soccer's kind of lame.
There's this thing called a dream shake that you'll make.
Soccer's for losers, and you know what? We're not going to say that on the air. We can't. It's me, God. I'm kind of homophobic. Nolan Ryan, the Ryan Express. The Bible would argue he was. You have Billy White Shoes Johnson. Earl Campbell, the Tyler Rose. You had it with the Houston Astros back in the day. The Killer Bees. It's not just Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio, Joel Blank, and Jeremy Branham. It's also Derek Bell, Carlos Beltran, Lance Berkman. Baseball has a lot of lame nicknames like Bags, Biggie. So Killer Bees is pretty good. Breggy, I know. A-Breg.
That's even worse.
Thanks for that one. Some other good ones. Junior Bronco says rapist. Deshaun Watson, alleged rapist. Doesn't really roll off the tongue. More of a sexual misconductor. Deshaun Watson. Some other ones. Big Shot Bob. Robert Ory. That one's great. Vernon Maxwell. Mad Max. Friend of the program. Cussed 6 times in 1 minute. We did not have enough dump button to get out of that. That FCC violation came directly out of my pocket after Jake Asman, the boss of ESPN 97.5 and 92.5, pulled out a switch and clubbed me on the hindquarters with that. Corporal punishment. It happens here at ESPN 97.5, but we're family, and it's fine, and we're over the whole incident. Maybe I even liked it. Some would argue I did. Yao Ming, the Great Wall. Is that racist? Because the Great Wall is in China?
A lot of the Yao Ming stuff from around the time, it brushed up on...
Doesn't age well.
It brushed up on racism.
One was called... per Pro Basketball Reference, one of them was The Dynasty. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of lame. But the Great Wall, it's a great nickname, but also probably problematic in 2023.
Yeah. Maybe.
Tracy McGrady, T-Mac. Is that good? No, not really, but it works.
Of the first initial, first initial and then first 3 letters of your last name, that's about as good as it gets, Other than it's T-Mac, and then it's like A-Rod, K-Rod, like all those, P-Rod. Like,
I know, my God.
those are the best of the, here's my initials, here's a nickname.
Yeah, they're not great. They're not great, those ones. We have Dr. Doom for Robert Brazil. That one's a great one.
That actually might be like the strongest one.
It's a pretty good one. How about Mr. 94 Feet? That's Patrick Beverly. I don't know if he gave himself that one. I love Patrick Beverly. I don't like that that's his nickname that much, but I'm going to pretend that I'm just going to look the other way because I like his hard-o nature. By the way, Beverly said on his podcast that he might be almost returned to Houston.
Very highly.
Very high chance of you going back to Houston?
Very highly.
Of you going back?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was one of my, decisions when I got traded from the Lakers. The Houston was one of my, but they told me, Pat, we don't need you right now. You might not play. We need you to mentor young guys, blah, blah, blah. So I still wanted to play, so.
There is a part of me that wants Beverly back. If Beverly comes back as part of James Harden returning, I'm cool with that. I'll feel a little bit better about James Harden returning. If we're just gonna play the hits, we only want 2018. Yeah. We only want 2017 Houston Rockets basketball. Then we may as well just bring Patrick Beverly.
Bring back Ryan Anderson.
Ryan Anderson.
Sam Decker. I'm sure we can get Sam Decker.
Man, Ryan Anderson is among the most overpaid players in Houston sports history. All you do is be tall and shoot a corner three and never use your size. Here's $20 million a year.
Yeah, there's 1 year where him and Eric Gordon were the only guys in the league other than Steph Curry that shot 28-foot 3-pointers. Remember that? Where they're like, see, they're maximizing spacing even more because they're standing 2 feet behind the 3-point line.
The Rocket Bobo apologists of that era were absolutely terrible.
Who cares that Ryan Anderson can't guard his own shadow?
Anyone. He can't play in the playoffs, but $20 million a year. Let's do that. Lil Alien for Sam Cassell. That's kind of a mean one. He does kind of look like an alien. It's like the ones you see in 1950s comics. Clyde the Glide Drexler. That one works. There's a lot of just rhyming, I think, back in the day as far as nicknames go. What else do we have? Did you know that James Harden had nicknames other than the Beard? And this is, again, per Pro Basketball Reference. All these pro insert website references, websites, they have lists of nicknames that you've never heard of.
Yeah, they have the two that they actually have, and then 15 absolutely bizarre ones.
Yeah. So James Harden, El Chapo, what?
I roughly remember that.
What? He's digging tunnels out of prison?
I think it also plays into the beard, maybe. I don't know.
Jimbo Slice, he does look like a leaner Kimbo Slice.
That one is that one's almost too cool for James Harden.
It's way too cool for James Harden. He's not tough.
That is a great nickname. Sorry, dude.
Honey Bun.
That one's funny.
What?
That seems mean.
Uno. Okay, but also he's named the Beard. By the way, here's Brian Windhorst with the latest on James Harden rumors, and I'll try not to off myself.
The 76ers have not shown an appetite to pay Harden the max. That's why they asked him to take a pay cut last year. The Rockets have the cap space. Do they do it? There's been a very hard rumor out there in the NBA about Harden's intent to go back to Houston, and it makes you wonder if it's being sold a little bit too hard. And that's certainly something that people are considering. I guess we're going to wait and find out. But again, just like with Kyrie, the Sixers are not really motivated to pay him that max salary if they don't think anybody else is going to do it.
Okay, so absolutely nothing new from Windhorst, other than maybe the interest in Houston is overstated.
Maybe it's all leverage.
I hope it's leverage. Other nicknames. This was on the list of things that I had, but Fruction on twitch.tv/ESPN 97.5. Calvin Murphy, the Pocket Rocket. that's that, or Randy Johnson as the big unit, which is just so in your face, literally sexual innuendo. Yeah. Those two are great.
And his actual name is Randy Johnson, which is also kind of a sexual innuendo.
It is. JJ Watt. His nicknames per Pro Football Reference are the Milkman. Did anyone ever call him the Milkman? He is from Wisconsin and does look like somebody who might be a milkman, but probably porno milkman. I don't think JJ Watt looks like a real life milkman. You would basically, if you saw a milkman like that, you'd be like, "What have you done with your life, dude? Like, why are you doing this?"
Yeah, I would assume he's like running from a past of being
Yeah.
like Black Ops or something.
Right, you're in witness protection after having killed Osama bin Laden or something like that. JJ SWAT. No, that one isn't good. The Astros have a billion good nicknames. Some of them aren't so good. I would say, not to be racist here, but the white nicknames suck. King Tuck for Kyle Tucker, terrible. A-Breg for Alex Bregman. Ryan Stanek is the Rooster.
I like that one.
Eh.
It's just a funny thing to be called.
Ryan Presley is Prez. Okay. Lance McCullers Jr. Baby Goose. Huh? Is that a Top Gun reference?
I've never heard that.
I haven't either. Again, this is a list put together by somebody who was trying to figure out who's nicknamed what going into the World Series against the Phillies. But the ones that are en español, those ones are great. La grasa, Framber Valdez, which means he has swag. Like, that's Dominican slang for swag. Saw that in a Chandler Rome piece this week. We're not going to give Rafael Montero a nickname, but his was Monte. Martincito for Martin Maldonado. Alex Bregman. We already said A-Breg. Jose Altuve. Gigante. I like that because it's ironic. Catrachos for Mauricio Dubon. El Brazo. Brian Abreu. El Culichi. Jose Urquidy. El Nino La Tormenta. That's Jeremy Pena. I can't read all of a sudden. El Pasito Garcia. That's Luis Garcia. El Reptilo is my favorite with Christian Javier. So there you go, guys. Lots of great nicknames in Houston sports. Jalen Green. JG4. Zero Gravity. G-Force. The Moon Man. Jogger.
The O's a 0.
Oh, okay. My bad.
This was back his rookie year when he wore 0.
He wore number
I
0,
think.
yeah.
Same thing with Zero Gravity.
Jabari Smith. Lock. The most interactive sports talk show in Houston. We were talking about Houston sports nicknames because Will Anderson is the Terminator. Some comments on the most interactive sports talk show. E315 says that Blum and Callis nicknames are terrible. Yeah, I think they're lacking in that department. I was a big believer that Tyler White should be called Big Puddin', like Josh Innes believed. And the Astros basically straight pushed back against that and said the Great White. Sounds kind of problematic, doesn't it?
Yeah, that one's so much worse.
I mean,
the Great White Hope, is that what he is?
Look, it's either a great white shark, and no offense to Tyler White, but Tyler White is not an absolute killing machine like a great white shark. Like, that's just not a fair comparison to make. It's offensive to great white sharks, which are the second most impressive creature that lives in our sea. The problem is they're dumbasses. Like, they're really stupid. And orca whales eat them for sports. Orcas, number 1 in the Paul Gallant official Sea Life Power Rankings.
Also, orcas, great nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Killer whale.
I can't believe there's no team in American sports that's called the Killer Whales or the Orcas. Can't believe it. Can't believe it.
Even like sharks is kind of underutilized.
Sharks is underutilized.
Like,
but
there's 15 different tigers in every other sport.
The problem is, I think, because some people get attacked by sharks from time to time. That might be it.
People get attacked by bears.
People get attacked by a lot of things.
People get attacked by other humans. Cowboys, biggest murderers there are. Texans.
Oh, the Patriots, they're murdering English people.
And Native Americans.
Yep. Yeah, that too. It's true. Some other nicknames that we got. Antonio Smith, the Ninja Assassin. So here's the thing with the Ninja Assassin, and I loved Antonio Smith because I always found him to be a funny quote, and I thought he was a pretty good player, and also it was hilarious when he tried to beat up Richie Incognito with Incognito's own helmet in a preseason game. I remember that happened, and I brought that up as evidence as to why we should all probably calm down a little bit about Myles Garrett trying to beat the hell out of Mason Rudolph.
Assault.
Right. Well, the thing was, in that game, Mason Rudolph was assaulting my eyeballs by being a horrible quarterback, and I think Myles Garrett did what everybody watching that game wanted to happen, which was to brutally injure Mason Rudolph so we didn't have to watch it anymore, which is fine. Sorry to Mason Rudolph. I'm sure he didn't say anything at all that would have seen Myles Garrett get to that point. No way, Jose. But Antonio Smith seemingly gave himself that nickname of the Ninja Assassin. Is that in bounds? Are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to give yourself a nickname? Like, say you're doing a radio show with somebody And in the
Okay,
in the middle of that radio show, Sean, the person asks you to call him the Baytown Badass during a commercial break when you come back, and you think to yourself, this is pretty lame and effing stupid, but also maybe I need to kiss this person's ass so that I can get a prominent time slot with the person. So I'm just gonna roll with it and let caution go to the wind. Do you think that's hypothetically, if that ever happened, like if you
So if like Cody or Jake ever did that to me,
right, if they did that
like
to
an
you,
afternoon, like let's just say it's afternoon.
what if they made you call you made them call you the Baytown Badass? Would you feel good about that?
No.
Okay. Just again, it's a
I would.
hypothetical. Like, how about this? How about say you want people to call you by nickname, and you think of the really, I think, also creative nickname like Dirty Red, and definitely ask your co-host to say that because no one's ever called you that in your life. Would that be in bounds? Would that be in bounds?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The only person to ever successfully give themselves a nickname,
Antonio Smith, Ninja Assassin.
Antonio Smith, and the most successful person giving themselves their own nickname, Kobe Bryant, Black Mamba. He just made it up.
He did. Mamba mentality. Good God. Kobe stands or something else. They're absolute worst
Say what you want
people.
about Kobe. Great at PR. Great at PR.
Great at creating a cult of idiots that think he's like one of the two best players of all time. Just unbelievable. Like, I get it. He's dead, and you can't disrespect the dead. Well, I mean, there was a thing in Colorado.
Also, I was saying a lot of this when he was still alive.
Right. It's you are right. In honor, since somebody has already paved the way for sports radio hosts in Houston to give themselves their own nickname and act like it's always been their nickname, I'm going to go back to calling myself what I called myself in high school, which is the PG train. That was my nickname in high school.
All right. Okay.
You know what my nickname was in 4th grade that I also gave myself? Slash, because I like Cordell Stewart. You know what else? As far as nicknames
Guns N'
go?
Roses.
Paulie G. I
Paulie
called myself that.
G. Oh, you gave yourself Paulie G?
I did. You know what else we could do?
Yeah, you've given yourself a lot of nicknames.
Well, listen, I'm just doing what Houston radio hosts do best. G-Spot. That could be me. Paul always finds it.
Okay.
What? Someone suggested Paul Galant as a nickname. Do we like it? People think I'm gay, so I mean...
It's one you haven't given yourself.
I haven't given it to myself. Okay. Yeah.
PG train, though. I kind of like that one. Leaving the station.
Hell yeah. One of my friends texted in, sounds like a serial diddler, the PG train. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Does it? Wait, it does?
Because, like, PG movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a little Pee Wee Herman adjacent.
Yeah.
He went to see a movie, and
no,
then he got
wasn't that-
canceled.
No, wasn't that I think he went to a porno.
Yeah, that was
movie
it. That's
theater.
what I mean. That's what I was saying.
But
yeah.
that's fine.
Goes to a movie theater,
That's what they're
canceled.
for. That's what they're for.
Back when men were men.
I don't know why I'm defending Pee Wee Herman on this issue, but
When men were men, you used to be able to go to a movie theater in front of a lot of other people, apparently, and watch porn and do, I guess, whatever you would do.
no, because he got in trouble for it. So apparently there are some rules.
I don't think he would have gotten in trouble for it if
he wasn't Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, just sometimes fame, just like what Kyrie Irving said right there, sometimes you need some nurturing.
Yeah.
And when you're big and famous, all of a sudden, white, black, red, yellow, like, I don't know. Doesn't go so well.
Was that actually Pee Wee Herman that you just...
Maybe. I don't know. We're all over the place today. But yes, the reason that the nickname Baytown Badass exists is because somebody asked me to call him that during a commercial break. Ask anybody. That is legitimately a fact. Anyway, I have no problem with the person. I just hate seeing it online.